Hello and welcome back to another week of my currently untitled farming RPG game. This week I took a little bit of a basic look at combat in Unity. The way it currently works is that the character swings their weapon, and at the peak of their swing, an animation event is triggered. This event then finds all of the colliders within the sphere around the player, as long as they're on the enemy layer, and it checks if they're in a certain angle from where the player is facing. There's other ways to do hit detection like this, but I personally think this is probably one of the best ways if you're not designing your game around physics or very tight animation-based characters. So once we've gotten that out the way, we layer a few effects. So first some screen shake. I found a great tutorial with a bunch of tricks for Cinemachine cameras, so I'm using a script from that. There's a link below for that. Next we add a weapon trail. Originally this was a trail renderer, but the animation didn't really suit it, so I swapped it to a swing effect from Epic Toon Effects. So next the enemy flash, which is pretty much just a simple color lerp on the material. Or you could do a lerp on the material property if you really want to optimize it. So after that we add a quick hit number using a TextMesh Pro text mesh, and we animate it a little to give it a little bit of a bounce. I've then added a symbol hit animation to the target dummy, and I had to Google how to add knockback to nav mesh agents to get a little bit of a impact to the hit. There's also a link to that below. So that's my full stack of combat effects sorted. I actually found a iDoz video on GameFeel that has some really good tips on combat, so I'll probably be integrating that soon as well. There's a good link to that in the description below. So the only other change that isn't really code related is that I wrote the Unity Toonlit shader in the Amplify shader editor, which makes it a lot easier to edit it. And I also found a good way to prevent lights from being overly bright when you cluster them up, which is quite a big problem if you're allowing the player to create a bunch of lights all around their map. So it works by adding blend.max in the add pass to the shader, which is where all of the point lights and stuff get added. But it only works really in vertex fragment shaders, so when I'm done with the editor I have to generate to a surface shader, and then I have to convert that to a vertex fragment shader, which isn't that much work, but if you have to do that every time you change anything in the editor, it's a bit annoying. But that's pretty much all I've been up to this week. There's a couple more videos that got delayed, should be out shortly. If you want to follow the progress of this project, I post daily on my Twitter, it's in the description below, or you can subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you have any suggestions or you want to share your own game dev work, feel free to drop a comment below. Until then, happy development.